Hello there, it is me again, Rich from TrekSpark, with another little tutorial for you this month. Sorry I didn't get one out last month. I was on me jolly bobs, but I'm now back in the room. So here we go. This month I'm going to do another quick one on drum or hit replacement for your drum loops. The reason being is you might have a drum loop you really like, but just don't like the sound of the kick or the snare or the hi-hat or whatever. But and the reason why you would sort of replace it, you could layer up over it, but it might cause mix issues because obviously you're doubling up on frequencies. We're going to do the kick drum today, so we'd be doubling up on those low end frequencies, which might cause us issues. Plus, you've got to be really, really accurate with your actual drum replacement, so to make sure that it's not flamming with your original drum hit as well. So we're just going to do drum replacement now. I've got one of the loops from one of the earlier packs here, Ghetto Boy Groove Field 2, misspelt groove, but there we go. Let's have a quick listen. Now, there we go. I only like this first bar, so I'm going to just delete this second bar and just use the first bar. Now, first thing, I'm going to get my loop into splices, into hit splices. So I'm going to go in and get my hit points and just make sure that they're all there. Come on then. Right, so each transient, each hit has a hit point on it now. I'm going to edit these because then slightly out. Just bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to pull that in there. I'm going to pull that one out there. I'm going to pull that one back there. This is the second side of the loop here, so which I just deleted. We don't want that anyway. I think there's another one out. What's this one doing? Oh yeah, that one there. Look, that one's way out. Okay. Everything else looks okay. Okay, right. There we go. So I've got all my hit points, and I'm going to just create the slices. So now we can see each individual hit. You can see the little lines going down vertically. Each one is its own individual splice now, whatever. Right, so next thing to do is mute out this bar 6 is the one that I just deleted a minute ago. It's reappeared. Right, so here we go. I'm just going to mute out the kick drums. Boom. Right. I'm just going to put a little fade on the end here. And a little fade on the snare. A tiny one on, because I don't want to lose any attack. Let's put a big fade on there because it looks dodgy. And tiny one on this one. Let's zoom in a bit closer. There we go. So I should, in theory, have the same loop minus the kick. There we go. What I'm going to do is copy it over so that I've got 2 instances of it. And just quickly, I'm going to go into this second half and get rid of this drum, get rid of this snare roll, because I don't want a roll twice. I'm just going to have a normal hit. Let's just make sure that's it in. Zoom in and make sure, put a little fade on it and then crossfade it to this one. Okay, so I should have the loop now. Right, so 1 drum roll, 1 snare roll, 1 snare hit. Now, here's the kick drum. Here's one I made earlier. It's the kick drum. I've just loaded it into battery. Any drum sampler, you know, will do, anything. Or you could even drag in a wave and put it on a new audio channel. But let's have a quick listen to the kick drum that I've chosen. It's got a bit of a vinyl sound. Vinyl breaky sound still, and it's a little punchier than the old one. I've also put an extra hit in on the end just here, just to vary the loop up a little bit. So let's have a listen to my kick drum replacement. Now it sounds a little unnatural. You might not hear it as much in the mix, but to me it sounds a bit rubbish. So what I'm going to do, and that is because obviously when I've muted out the kick drum, I've lost the room ambience and I've also lost the hi-hat. So I'm going to duplicate my loop and just unmute the kicks. I'm going to delete everything else. Unmute the kick. Okay, so, and I'm just going to copy that over again. Copy it out. Let's mute this. So there's a little click happening there. Let's put a tiny fade in on that. And a tiny fade in on this one. In fact, there should be fade outs as well, shouldn't there? What am I doing? What am I doing? Okay, that one's alright. That should be alright. Same with this side. Let's put a little fade out. And I've got my fade in there, so it should be okay. In theory now, even though I've muted the kicks off this top channel, I've put them back in on this second channel, so it should sound the same. There's a tiny thing happening here. Let's be really quick with this. Let's bring that back because there's a gap. And then same with this one. Sorry guys. Bit of super quick editing. Right. Right, now, if I put a high pass filter, EQ, on this, I'll filter out all of those lows on the kick drum, from the kick drum, and I'm left with the room ambience and the hi-hat. So I've just put on a pretty steep curve here, and I'm filtering out all the lows. I'm going to go up to about 1K. So I'm still left with the hi-hat and a bit of room, but no kick drum. Now if I put in my new kick drum, there we have it, drum replacement on a drum loop. Hope that was helpful. Cheers, I'll see you next month.